Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to another What's Up Wednesday. We are live from New York, upstate New York. So, not the New York everybody else knows. Hicktown, New York. First of all, I'm going to make sure the video feed and everything is coming in loud and clear. Let's see. Man, I tell you what, I'm going to get to these things. I'm just going to skip right to them. They're called Stroopwafels. And they come from the Netherlands. Or at least a viewer sent them to me from the Netherlands. Sent me 2 packages. And typically I wait to What's Up Wednesday to get into the goodness of the goodies. That way I don't eat them all and be like, what did they send? And show you an empty bag. Well, you sent me a picture of these, and evidently you stick them on top of your coffee cup to heat them up and soften them. These things are freaking amazing. Not maple syrup amazing? Well, pretty close. See, like Sheba, she knows what I got, so she's like, hey, give me some. They are good. I don't know if you're into cycling or athletic type sports, stuff like that, but they make some stuff here in the States called Honey Stingers. The Lance Armstrong Honey Stingers. These are very, very similar to those, but way better, way yummier. Oh, so Bajit Leggett said he's had some. See, there's Sheba. She knows, man. She is a sugar junkie. You want one of these? You want a bite? I'll give her a little bite. Oh, isn't that so good? There's a little piece. All right, I get out of here. There's JC Smith's product. So are we coming in loud and clear? Yeah, these things are amazing, Mr. Turk. They have like a honey gooey center, and they are so freaking good. Good. They taste pretty sugary. I probably shouldn't eat a lot of them. I can't read any of the ingredients on the package because it's all in Chinese or something. Whatever they speak in the Netherlands. Get down, Sheba. Come on. But they're so good. So maybe some of you guys have probably had those. Yeah, they're so good. I've probably said that like 10 times already. Stroopwafels. Maybe Google it. I haven't even Googled it because the fact of the matter is when these are gone, that's not really focusing. Yeah, stupid camera. There we go. Maybe whatever. Stroopwafels. Get some. Hopefully I can buy them in the US of A. Let's see. I've got, what do we have here? About 600 folks up in here watching. Oh, there's Miss Helga. Helga's Pennsylvania cooking. Got some blue wrenchers up in here moderating. I haven't seen Glenn yet. Well, I don't know. VW. Krispy Kremes are these. Sheba doesn't go bananas like this for Krispy Kremes. See, she's like knocking on me. I see it, man. I see it. I'm only enforcing a bad habit by giving you some. But I'm poor like that. Got some Sweden, Tennessee, and Henry Sam from Anchortown, Alaska. Yeah, weekly dose of diabetes, more like daily. Yeah, Sheba is a little beggar. I'm just going to finish eating this. Now we're going to get right into it. I always share with Sheba. Got Ohio up in here. A Chick-fil-A. I've never been to a Chick-fil-A. Nathan says they've got one up there in Rochester. Stroopwafel worldwide deliveries. Okay, boom, settled. Now I can get a supply of these coming in. Ah, look, all gone. All gone. Get out of here. We got Ivan from Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, baby. It says it sold at the Walmart. That's like the best news ever. Tampa, Florida, Jersey. Shout out from Charlotte, NC. People were camping out for the Chick-fil-A opening. Is it that good? I mean, I just assume, you know, fast food, it can't be great, not worthy of camping out for. Huh. Coffee of the day. I am drinking some coffee from the Black Rifle Coffee Company. It's my go-to coffee. I did get that huge box from a viewer of the other Keurig stuff, which has some pretty good coffees in it, to be honest with you. All right, so let's see. I think we should, yeah, Helga says she's not a Chick-fil-A fan. I don't even know if I'd like Chick-fil-A. I'm not a big McDonald's. We have McDonald's, Arby's, Burger King, Taco Bell, and that's it. That's all we have here. I prefer the Arby's, you know, like their market fresh sandwiches if I get something. I do like me a good double Whopper once in a while, but I always never feel good. It's always a bad decision. When it's all over, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. Should have saved my money for the ice cream store, which is now open. Hallelujah. Not my ice cream store, not the the TK I call it, the Twin Kiss Lounge. The other one's open, the other one in Bath, which I don't really care for very much. Not very personable when you go there. And the thing that bugs the living crap out of me when I go to the other ice cream store, I ain't gonna mention their name. When I go there, I turn Super Chat off. The Super Chat should not be on. Oh, crap. Well, don't Super Chat, please. That's the fake Scotty Kilmer. I gotta love that guy. Please don't Super Chat. I turned it off last time, but evidently it turns itself back on. I thought last week's Super Chat was pretty nice. Or last week's chat was nice because we had no Super Chat, so I didn't have any obligations. At any rate, I was ranting about the other ice cream store that I don't really frequent. But when I go there and you order your ice cream and you have your money, they don't take your money first. And that sounds pretty petty. But when it's like 30 degrees out and the wind's freaking whipping, you don't want to, like, you get your ice cream and now you got to get your money and they try to hand you your change. And it's just all frustrating. And it's like, I asked the lady, like, can you just take my money? And they can't because their boss tells them they can't. And I understand that, because if you got like 5 people standing there and they put in their order and then somebody changes it, and now the cash register's all frigged up, or they want sprinkles and now they got to, you know, I understand, but I'm just one guy and I get the same thing, almost the same thing every time. I'm not going to change my mind halfway through. And anyways, and plus they charge, like, if you want an extra cup, like let's say, like, you know, you get a large and you're like, oh, can I have a cup? They're like, well, that's a nickel. You know, so they got to add that on. So I get it, but anyways, whatever. Forget about it, okay? Let's see. Eat more tacos. Now, what is your problem, Sheba? I don't have any more, okay? Look, go sit down somewhere. Be a good dog, okay? We'll go home soon. You know what time it is. That's her problem, man. That dog, I swear, wears a watch. 5 o'clock, ready to roll. Gelato, ugh. That stuff is gross. Real hardcore ice cream is where it's at. Oh, eat more possum. We could have ate possum this weekend. Or not this weekend. It was actually last week after What's Up Wednesday. Sheba scared the crap out of me. Thought she was dead. I don't want to get into the story because there's probably a bunch of, I don't know if there's much PETA up in here, but I had to do what I had to do. But I thought Miss Sheba was killed. So, and lo and behold, it was just a possum. And she was fighting with it. And I took care of it. We'll leave it at that. I'd like to tell you this story, but somebody will go nuts. Like, oh, you know how it is. Here comes the brake clean delivery. Backing up the tanker. All right, so you guys are getting mad. Want me to do mail call? You got Frank over here using all caps locks. So we'll get on to the mail call. Not BS session. This ain't the BS show. Oh, I can't tell you the story. Well, maybe I'll tell you the story. We'll wait for the PETA people to leave. We got to do mail call before Frank uses more caps locks. This letter comes from Kyle B, all the way from GA. I believe that is the Georgia. Oh, super fine print. And he writes, Erico and family, I hope your family enjoyed the mother load of balloonies. And they did. Dude, my kids are like balloony junkies. I can't tell you how many things of balloonies they went through, just FYI. They're quite a hit. And that the interiors of your car are intact. Unfortunately, Amazon restricts the number of characters you can write in the gift notes. I want to express more thanks for the work you do and for the quality of your videos you produce. The quality of your repairs show that you hold high standards for yourself, for your family. It's great to see the jobs getting fixed correctly and not just covered up. I wrench on the family vehicles to help save some money, but to also know that each step is fully completed and everything is torqued to specs. Man, this is some tiny print, bro. Where are we at here? Okay. Your videos on GM front wheel bearings are a great guide. It's good to know that there are 3 bolts hiding in the bearing on the inside of 2 instead of 2. I have started applying your diagnostic steps into my own, which has helped me tremendously. I've got a 99 JK Jeep Cherokee. 4.0 with a $176 on it. Has gone through 2 crankshaft sensors. On its last crank no start, I was able to verify crankshaft signal and was able to determine it was the ignition coil instead. Well, that's good. Now I've lost my place again. Look how small this guy writes. It was the ignition coil instead. Your teachings on reading fuel trim helped me diagnose a vacuum leak on a cracked PCV hose. I'm going to say it must be a Ford. On an 02 Ford Escape 3.0 with 2 1/4 on the clock. Recently had a friend call for assistance replacing a thermostat in an 06 Escape 2.3 liter because that's what the code reader said at the zone. He got in the zone. Thankfully, the thermostat was faulty and repaired accordingly. I enjoy your logger videos and the multi-part series, also soldering for 2.5 hours. I think the entertainment value and commentary in those videos adds quite a bit. There's nothing better than coming home from work than a new SMA video. Thanks for all you do, Kyle B. All right, Kyle, I appreciate that. Kyle is one of the senders of the big balloony packages from last week. What's Up Wednesday, which my kids are thoroughly enjoying and can blow a way better balloony than I can. But I found their trick. They waste like 3 tubes to get a big booger on there. They can. My oldest boy, he can do a big balloony. You guys are still talking about the possum, huh? All right, well, I'll give you the quick rundown when we're done with the mail call because somebody's gonna blow it up over here in caps locks, saying "Get going." There's that. Also, guys, I don't have a letter here. I don't believe. I don't because Andy from the Andy Mechanic channel. If you guys know the Andy Mechanic channel, if you don't, check it out. Guy's a heck of a YouTuber, and he always has a bunch of half-naked women on his show. You didn't hear that from me. So Andy Mechanic on the YouTube. He's down in, or over and down in New Zealand. And he sent me one of his Andy Mechanic shirts that he always wears with his Pico patch on it and his name. It's like, I'm going to be super official wearing this. And this must be, I can't remember the brand name of the tools. Teng Tools must be relatively popular in the New Zealand, which I believe is pretty close to Australia, but he talks like he's English. I'm just completely confused. So check out the Andy Mechanic channel. Sent me a beer koozie and one of his sweet shirts, and he also sent me one of the tools made by Teng Tools, which I've never heard of. They are out of New Zealand, or their international sales manager is out of New Zealand, a guy named Brandon. And what it is, I think I just dumped it off, is these long, flexible 1/4-inch drivers. I remember having smaller ones like these back in the day of, like carburetors used to have them, little carburetor adjusters for the quadro junks that were, on the little flexi shaft, and they were pretty helpful. I do believe that I've spilt the entire thing here. See if I can get it out of the box. Oh yeah, I organized it at one point and then just dumped it again. So it comes with some bit drivers and a full 1/4 inch set from 4 to 13 millimeters. I'll get one of the drivers out. They're kind of unique. Now, Andy works on a lot. I believe he works for, who do I want to say, Yamaha, if I remember correctly. But he works on everything. The guy's pretty brilliant. He does like everything. Like, you know, he'll pull a starter apart and return the armature on it, and you know, pull apart transfer cases, and does some electrical diags, and uses Pico and motorcycles and the whole spiel. So you can see here, 1/4 inch bit driver on that side. And then you can hold the outer sheath and you can flex it, and then it rotates in the middle. So these are similar to the design of like a speedometer cable. I believe they're designed for low torque. I'm not 100% positive how much beans can be administered to these, but they may allow you to fish into a certain place and, you know, administer quarter beans at 25% throttle. And then this one has your regular 1/4 inch square on it. So we'll keep these around. Thank you, Andy, for sending these. And Mr. Andy also sent something else, which I cannot show on the YouTube for some reasons. He knows. He's being a funny guy. And we'll keep that between him and I. And that rhymed really well. So let me put the cover back on this before I dump them all again. She was over laying by the door. She's mad at me. But yes, definitely check them out there. Things in Sweden, made in Taiwan, big in Europe, New Zealand, and Australia. Get the cover back on. I can't do it under pressure. We'll shut them down. Set this down. Yeah. There we go. So the WT Farm Girl's in here and wants to know why. Why what? I must have missed it. You guys always have your own conversation. Nobody really watches this to watch me. It's totally understandable. Yeah, and I didn't use that on the possum. I used 12 gauge. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Gonna get a bunch of thumbs. I already got one thumbs down because we even mentioned the possum. Look at this little guy here. Look at that license plate. Bam. I believe this one is from Sweden. It has an S on it, and it's long. And that's what I'm going to assume. And what I found interesting is it has the vehicle's VIN number on it. And it must have came off of VW. WVW triple Z3. I won't read the whole thing to you. But there's that. And it does come with a little note. And I think I'll say this. I think what we're going to do is, so we have our license plates displayed in the office. But I think I'm going to up here on the wall, because that's 8x8. Those are 4x8 sheets. So you can see how tall it is, what, 16 foot ceilings. I think we're going to take and do like, you know, the United States type map with license plates. So if I get a plate from New York, you know, we'll put it here, you know, that type of thing. Or I'll just do them in alphabetical order and we'll see if we can fill in all of them. And then we'll include some foreign countries outside of the US of A. And we got a note here, and he writes, "Hey there, Eric. You asked for license plates from Europe. This one is from Sweden. Have a nice day. And please keep on making films on YouTube." And I assume this is his selfie. So this is what the guy looks like in case you ever see him on the streets. This guy from Sweden. He didn't say who it was. So I can't personally think, unless it's on the front here. Prioritize. Nope, it's not. He mailed it incognito. So I don't even know. So thank you from Sweden. You know who you are, whoever's driving the, let's see, what do we got here? 90. So no, it's going to be an 02, probably Volkswagen Passat would be my guess. Let me know if I'm right in the comments. Just taking a big fat guess there. Looking at the bin. Moving right along. We have a box here that came from across the pond also. And this is from Walter S., who lives out of the area, we'll call it, because he wrote down the weight in grams. And that's my first clue, other than the, little thing there where it had to go through customs. So we open this up, and he is the one that sent the ever so delicious Stroopwafels, which supposedly are available at Walmart, according to the people who did the Googling. He also sent some of these, which I have not opened yet. I think they're, they say, I don't know what they say. Somebody translate that for me. I have no idea. It says fresh in English on it. I don't know what that is, but I know one of you do. It says fresh, delicious schmeckler. I don't know. Somebody's gonna translate that. It's sugar and starch. Well, we know that. It's a 99 VW Passat with 13 owners. Oh, NAMCOM92, if you were the one that sent me the plate. I do appreciate it. Oh, Sheba's right back over here now. Those are fresh cookies. It says Walmart sugar cookie. I don't believe you guys. We'll see. Let's see. Maybe it's explained in here. Dutch chocolate chip cookies. I don't know. Patrick, I don't know. Can you read that? Are you sure? Somebody Google it. Let's see what he says. This is from Walter. He sent the good stuff. See you later, Leon. Take care. Have a good night. Assume it's nighttime over where you live. Soggy biscuit. I don't think anybody knows. I don't know if I dare eat them until they get translated. And he writes, Dear Eric, I stumbled across your YouTube channel a few years ago when I was looking for some info on remote locking functions on my Ford Mondo. I don't even know what that is. If I remember correctly, it was a video on programming a key for a Ford Focus. Ever since I saw the video, I haven't left your channel since, and I'm still enjoying the videos. Oh, enjoying it to date. I just made up the last part. Let's see. If you'd like to know, and I believe you do, it's a 2007 Mondo. I think I'm saying that correctly. Mondo, I'm going to call it. With a 1.8 liter Petro Duratec HE with 108 kilometers, approximately 67K on the clock. And he wrote on the clock. So he's been watching some SMA. Mondeo. Oh, okay. Thanks, Kenneth, for straightening that out. And Eric and Drenson, not to be confused with Anderson. Now I forgot how to say it already. Where are we at? Mondeo. It's a Ford Focus from the sounds of it. Anyways. All right. Good night, Solid. Good talking with you. Thanks for sticking around for a little bit. Let's see. It looks like it's up to you, Glenn and Helga, to moderate. Keep down the loonies. I love your no-nonsense and down-to-earth attitude. Over the years, you have remained true to yourself, unlike some YouTube mechanics, not naming names in parentheses. You haven't fallen in what I call celebrity trap, quote unquote. I believe this is one of the keys to success of your channel, and being a damn good mechanic, of course. Always enough about that. Anyways, enough about that. He's saying, anyways, enough tooting your horn. I want to thank you in some way for the work you put into making these videos for us. I've learned you have a sweet tooth, or a couple of them, and you are a coffee junkie too. Both are close to my heart as well. So I decided to send you some typical Dutch cookies, biscuits. Oh, Dutch cookies / biscuits. So that's what these are. That's what this says. That says Dutch cookie biscuit in Swedish. That may not be an exact translation, but it's pretty close. You and Vanessa and the kids read, you must share them, in parentheses, with exclamation points. Can enjoy with your hot drinks. There are 2 packets of Stroopwafels in the box. This loosely translates to syrup waffles. No wonder they're so freaking amazing. The larger cakes are called Gevludekork. I don't know. I just made that up. I'm not Swedish and I don't know freaky deaky Dutch. Or as you say in the US of A, stuffed biscuits. Good luck pronouncing these names. He knew I was going to fail. They're not special Dutch cookies. See, now I'm getting some translation there. Let's see what we got. Below is a visual serving suggestion of the Stroopwafels. It'll let them warm up, soften them slightly. Added bonus, your coffee will stay warmer longer too. And then what he did is he sent me a picture. And I'll share this with you without sharing his personal information. He showed me how to do this, right down to labeling, use Black Rifle Coffee Company. Stick the Stroopwafel on the top. Boom. Let me tell you what, guys. You got to get some of these. Order yourself some. Continuing on. That was a fantastic idea. I'm really glad that you showed me that. I love the YouTube. Learned so much. I hope you enjoy these treats. If you do and you want more, drop me a line. Warmest regards from the Netherlands. Wait a minute. I thought we were saying it's from Sweden. Totally mixed up. Apologize for that. Walter S. Then he left me his email and then left a little thing down here on the end that I'm not going to read. Anywho, Mr. Walter, we do appreciate that. The Stroopwafels are the bomb. I love those things. Now, I got one more package to burn through, so I'm going to have to ration them out daily. A couple of the guys said that they found a source, so we will look into that. I'm going to open up one of these fellas, stick this to the side. Oh, I was not expecting that. They're almost like, they are stuffed. They're almost like a little pie. Oh, super dry. You need lots of coffee. That flavor. I can't even cheat and read it. I don't even know. Because I can't read any of this. This could be like poison, gas, toxic stuff. I don't know. I'm going to assume they're not because they're in a package. That definitely needs coffee with it, though. I'll tell you that much right now. I can't tell you what flavor it is. Try them with PB&J. That's what Tracy Diller recommends. My mind is telling me apple. Because you look at it and you're like, oh, it's a little apple Danish from the Netherlands. Sheba's over here. She wants to try some. Okay. Man, they're pretty yummy. You can have one more bite. Sheba loves them. In Holland, when you sit down for a coffee, it always comes with a cookie. It should. I mean, realistically. Better than getting a coffee and a cigarette. Oh, we'll move right along here. This one comes from another fellow YouTuber, JC Smith. I see him up in the house here. So we'll hit him up before he goes. He went through his shop because he's always going around buying trucks and all kinds of crap. I don't know where this guy finds the time, but he hooked me up with some plates. Got some Louisiana, Ohio, a couple Ohio's, Louisiana, Texas truck. I actually have this plate, not the same number, but the same plate. Missouri, Oklahoma, another Oklahoma with a Native American on it, shooting a bow and arrow. And another Pennsylvania one. And he's also wrote a letter from the JC Smith Projects. Check him out on YouTube. He is a Ford guy. That's all I'm going to say. But he does all kinds of projects, and he's got a lot of sweet crap that we all want to have around our house, like the freaking huge loader. What do they call it? Gradall, I guess it is. Is it a Gradall, JC? Am I saying that wrong? You know, it's like a forklift on steroids where you can reach up like 50 feet, 60 feet, something like that. And he's always take a cab off this truck, swapping this, doing that, buying a truck, tearing engines apart. I think you guys will enjoy his channel. He likes to spend money and buy tools. And he's all right in my book. He's like one of those guys you'd want to work with, but, you know, it's like no nonsense. He'll go outside and work when it's cold. You know, that kind of stuff. What do you want, Sheba? I see you. Get out of here. Where is he? Let's see. Great all. Yep. Everyone should have a couple. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the guy, he's got all the cool toys. Not gonna lie. I wish I had that stuff. Yep, he's a Ford guy. He just did. He tore apart this Ford 10 Ford 10, a V10 that ate up a valve, and he pulled the head off, and it was pretty mangled. I told him just to weld the hole shut, turn it into a 3 valve, you know. So yeah, definitely check out his channel. He's in the comments. You click on his picture there and go to my channel or go to his channel. Yeah, best cherry picker ever. Exactly. How do you get away with buying all this stuff, JC? Does your wife just give up on you like mine does on me, where she's just like, whatever, you're just gonna do it anyways? That's what Mrs. O says now. Yep. No, Sheba doesn't have to poop. We pre-pooped before What's Up Wednesday. Yep, I just bought a new gun. Mrs. O doesn't even ask anymore. Got the new Glock 43, in case you guys are interested. Can't wait to go pick it up. Probably pick it up this weekend. In New York State, you have to get a purchase coupon to buy a handgun. So you got to figure out which handgun you want, you know, whatever you decide. Get the receipt for purchasing it with serial number and all that stuff. Go to your county office, get a purchase coupon, go back to the gun store, give them the purchase coupon, then they do the background check. You know, again, you got to do a NICS check every time you buy a gun, even though you've had a background check to get a pistol permit. So it's just part of the process, but you know, whatever. It's supposed to keep the loonies at bay. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. So let's go on here. This from JC Smith, who sent license plates, who's also on YouTube. And he writes, "Hello, Eric O. I was in the shop listening to What's Up Wednesday when I looked over at my bench and saw a stack of license plates. These are some of the duplicates that I already have. I took these off trucks that I traveled to each of these states to buy and bring back to Ohio. I thought I would send them to you to add to your collection. Thank you for all your efforts in the videos you make. I look forward to each and every one of them. I appreciate the way you explain your process, the what, the how, and the repair itself. Also, thank you for watching my videos and commenting. It's always a welcome surprise to see you in the comments. I hope you, Mrs. O, the children, and the dogs are doing well. I apologize. I didn't know Mrs. O's cat's name. Well, JC, we're down to one cat, kind of thankfully. Trixie, she has passed away. However, we still have Butler. So I do appreciate this, JC. Like I say, guys, check out his channel if you haven't already. I believe he has a Veris Pro also, so he does some, you know, some diag work. Does a little bit. The guy dabbles in everything. He does everything, like everything. Like I say, he's like one of them guys you just want to hang out with, or he's one of them guys you'd want to have as your buddy because he's got a shop and all the cool stuff that you could borrow, and then bring it back to him and be like, I don't know what happened. You know, one of those guys. I probably wouldn't know. He'd probably beat the snot out of you. Man, coffee's almost gone. Dwindling down. We're getting down to the last two, and then we'll turn it over to open discussion. Oh, this one I'm not going to read. Last What's Up Wednesday, there was a viewer. Let me. Yes, it was Travis, I believe. Yes, or yeah, Travis Peoples. He did the 6.0 swap from the 5.3 to the 6.0, and I questioned, you know, like how he went about that, particularly, you know, with the fuel injection and all that stuff. So this fella took the time to write me an entire detailed report, including pictures on how he did this, and I believe it was in his Cadillac Escalade. I mean, he sent me everything, the whole rebuild, the whole spiel, which is pretty cool. I've got to go through all this. I started reading it the other day at lunch and then got busy as a banshee. But it is, I'm glad that you sent this to me because I'm always interested in stuff like that. Now, engine swaps back in the day, you know, you had no turd bucket, you know, 4.3, and you wanted to put a, you know, 350 in it or whatever. You just bolted in and, you know, away you went. My old Chevy that I had a 94 Chevy, throttle body 4.3 in that. Of course, I wanted to put a 5.7 in it. That was easy, you know, but that's just throttle body injection, you know, just, you know, you could swap ECMs, you could do stuff a lot easier than you do nowadays. So I'm very interested in finish reading your report. So thank you for that, Travis. that is much appreciated that you took the time and effort to send that to me. What do we got here? Let's see where we at here. Oh, Lon, master problem solver. I think I know what he's referring to there. Lon, are you the guy that works for the company I won't mention with the abbreviations SO that sent me the sign that says master problem solver from a long time ago? A long, long time ago. Who knows that song? So yeah, it was pretty cool of Travis to, wow, this is a long one. This is a big one. It's JC giving, let's see. Oh no, it's TDM4 picking on Ozstar. So Ozstar no longer has the flip phone. He is upgraded to the Galaxy S9. I don't know if he's figured out how to turn it on yet or not, but best of luck to you, Ozstar. Welcome to the 2000s. Yeah, his phone wasn't even a flip phone. It was a slider phone. Totally ghetto. Let's see. Anywho. This one is from MI, and that means Michigan, and he wrote that out for me. Yeah, he still has Corvettes with automatics. Total weak sauce. Ozstar, Park Nest Ozstar, the guy with the blue wrench, still using a phone that you flip out, like you slide it open, and you're like, flick it back shut. He just got a regular smartphone, so we harassed him about it. Yeah, sorry, you have to turn it on. Yeah, Andy's a Corvette guy. So I still keep him with the blue wrench, you know, kind of feel bad for the fella. Anywho, we'll get reading here. This is kind of a long one. I don't remember pre-reading this one, so hopefully it's not soft and sappy or naughty. And he writes, Dear Eric O, in quotations, and family, I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your automotive knowledge with the people. I enjoy your commentary and your videos. Baloney Skins, classic reach arounds, in parentheses. I stumbled across your channel over 1 year ago, and I had foot surgery, which sidelined me for 3 months. I was tired of TV and started YouTube watching. Lo and behold, I found your channel and started watching. You quickly became my go-to pastime. There are endless accounts of hack mechanics in my area, parts cannon operators, he calls them, and only a few I have disclosed to be technicians. You know the difference between them. I'm an avid DIYer with no lifts, jack and jack stands. I do as much as I can, but sometimes find myself, revisiting or visiting one of the 2 shops in my area I trust and know to be honest. Okay. Sometimes I got to use my context clues to fill in the word. I learned that in like 3rd grade, context clues. I'm a firm believer in test, don't guess. Watching your channel and a few others, ETCG, Pine Hollow, I've picked up several tips, tricks, and a ton of info that I've used. Greatly appreciated. I watch most of your videos and tune in every What's Up Wednesday, so he's probably watching now. It's not your penmanship, trust me. It's my inability to read, and it's in cursive, which is fine. Let's see. It does conflict with dinner time, but you did use 2 T's on that but. That's the other kind of but. You should have used 1 T. That's okay, though. A small price to pay to get to chime in on a super chat or hear you vent. LOL. By all means, vent. It makes us feel better. I can honestly say good tech is worth their weight in gold. That means I'm worth 218 pounds of gold. Somebody calculate that. I don't know what that is in dollars and cents. And sir, you are a great tech. I'm just a mechanic, though. Please just call me mechanic. Honest and knowledgeable in the automotive field. It's good to see your family values shine as well as a fellow deer hunter. Oh, I like this guy already. October 1st to January 1st. Oh, man, you guys got a longer deer season than us. a tad longer. You probably get an extra 2 weeks. I thought of you. I belong to a local archery club and thought you could use some swag. Sorry, our t-shirts have no front pocket, and you always have a block. So I got you. You're always here on black, or you always have on black. So I got you a gray one. That's okay, because I always wear black. Sometimes really, really dark gray. That's from the Batman movie, in case you didn't know. So I got you a gray one. I know you said you wear a large, but these have a tendency to shrink. So I'm sending you an XL. And with all the sweets you've been getting, I'm betting it will fit just fine after a wash or two. What's that supposed to mean, fella? You're probably right, though. Just in case, I also enclosed some ice cream jelly beans, and they're made by Jelly Belly, to help. I found them while shopping with my kids. I personally like the chocolate-covered peanuts, so guess what? Here are some as well. Share with the fam jam. Not to forget about the now famous Mrs. O. I have enclosed a travel mug for hot and or cold drinks. I know this one works awesome on cold drinks, ice for days. I haven't used it on hot drinks yet. My wife bought these on QVC. I think that's the thing on TV. I don't have a TV, but I do remember QVC as a child, I remember. And we have shared them with our family. Everyone seems to enjoy them. Thank you again for your videos and your skills and sharing them with the people. All the best to you and your family, Justin, Lisa, and the kids. P.S. Nice Jeep for the new project. However, I'm old school Chevy strong. New Chevys are crap. 2 exclamation points. Fist bump. I did love my 97 Sierra. Had it 19 years, 194K. Wish I never got rid of it. That was a good truck. 79 square body, 3-inch lift, and a 383 stroker. Oh, man. I just want to grunt after reading that. Oh, yeah, 79 Chevy. I wish I had that truck out to share with you guys. Oh, thank you, Justin, Lisa, and the Chillins. He sent me his shirts in XL because he says they shrink from the Flint Bowman Archery Club on the front where the pocket should be. Take notes. And then has that on the back, Flint Bowman Club. So I'll wear this around and be like, I'm part of the club. I don't know if that's how they talk in that club. Probably not. And then he sent the mug for Mrs. O, which is in this box here. Some Jelly Belly jelly beans in ice cream flavor, because this is the best way to send ice cream via the mail. And also, as he had mentioned in the letter, some Old Mill milk chocolate covered peanuts to help me fit in the shirt, according to this young buck. And then he wrote a letter on here for Mrs. O. Here's the cup, as stated in the letter. Inside the cup, there is some hot cocoa for the kids or me. We use the smallest setting on ours for that rich chocolatey taste. Don't forget to run clean water, cycle afterwards to flush out the cocoa. Must be their K-cups, I'm thinking. Oh, yes, they are. So here's the cup from the QVC. It's a Primal hot cold thermal tumbler, 24 hours. Keeps cold for 24 hours. I'd have to test that theory. And it has a spiral to it. That's pretty slick. And then inside here, oh, it unscrews. I want to break it off. Some Miss Swiss K-cups. There's only 3. I guess I'll have to give them to the children. I want to get them all nuked up. Oh, so Glenn's down there putting the lips to me, huh? I'll let it slide this time, Mr. Glenn. All right, Justin, Lisa, kids, thank you for this. I believe that is all for this week's mail call. Well, I'd like to see that 79 square body with a stroker motor. Used to have a stroker motor in my Jeep, my Scrambler. Good little running engine. Thank you guys for the gifts, the goodies, and the letters, license plates, so on and so forth. Much appreciated. Love getting the letters in the mail. Always enjoyable to read. And, you know, makes me feel appreciated, I guess. Is that okay to say? I don't know. I don't know. I just enjoy a good letter. Well then. Steve's on truck. Glock 43 9mm 6+1 Pistola. How much is that gun in New York? Are you going to do a review on it? I paid $480 with the sales tax for that, Steve. So like I said, I still got to go pick it up, but. Let's see. At any rate, what are we going to talk about? Oh, I should go out to my truck. Back when I was a Chevy guy, I had a 94 Chevrolet Stepside. My mama found some pictures of it because I used to take pictures of it because I was that kind of dude. I was young, wasn't real smart. And so she found some pictures of my old Chevy. It's out. I think they're out in my truck if you want me to go get a picture of it and show you what my old Chevrolet looked like. It was one of my favorite Chevrolet trucks that I owned. I've owned several. I'll go get it. You guys are going to want to see it. Wait right here. Don't move. Man, I feel like a liar now. I went out to get it. It wasn't in my cup holder. I must have took it in the house. I had a bunch of crap that I took home from here, so I must have took my pictures in the house. We'll focus. Anyhow, I'd like to show it to you. It's a red Chevy Stepside short box. Had the 5.7 in her. I did the old Schwapperoo myself. Yeah, good hustle. Thanks, John. Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, I had a, what did I have? Had a YouTuber stop in today from California or Canada. I don't know which. I think he lived in California, moved to Canada. Came in with his 97 Toyota, had no blower motor operation. The switch was broken. He conveniently had one that he bought off eBay because he guessed that's what it was. So it was a good guess. So I popped that in for him. What else has been going on? Oh, the lack of videos. Right now, currently, I'm booking sometime in May, sometime in the middle of May. Sheba, stop it. What? Get up here. Come here. Get up here. There you go. This will make you go away. You don't want to sit on my lap. So I'm booking sometime in the middle of May, and I am busier than a one-arm paper hanger. I don't even know if that's a real job, but I imagine they'd be busy. So I just have not been cranking out the videos. You want to get down? Eva, you looking for some cookies? You want to give me a catch? Oh, but not in the mouth. You're always trying to French me, you sicko. At any rate, yeah, so I've just been busier than a banshee. And been trying to get some stuff. So I tried to get you guys a video. I've got one video up on YouTube right now that hopefully we can get out. I got some Hondu stuff. I did had a Hondu come in with a parasitic draw. I don't think we put that video out yet, did we? No. So we did that. What else did we do? I had a Hondu in here, CRV, rear press and wheel bearing. Now these things can be a huge pain because it's an 05. And getting the knuckle off to get the axle out sucks. And the bolts get seized in the bushings, but we use the air hammer, we use the induction heater. There's a lot of hammering, impacting, spraying, stuff smoking. So I think you guys will like that. I did that. The vehicle also needed front brakes and an alignment when we were done. So I tried to get that. I did the brake video. I did some videos on changing the tires on it. Mrs. O was like, oh, you should do a video showing the, changing the tire. I was like, that's stupid. People ain't going to want to see it. So I did a little one. It's probably stupid. But I do show a couple of free tip Tuesdays, one on a Tuesday, one on a Wednesday, on changing little lawnmower tires because you will fight those things. But I show a little trick you can do with a pair of vice grips to make life easy. That's on there. So I'm hoping to get some of these edited. I've got so many big jobs going on right now. I've got a Ford Fusion over there tore apart. All the diag jobs that have been coming in have literally been diagnosing them in like a minute because they're all just common repetitious repairs. So I haven't recorded them. At a Saturday with a misfire, a bad injector. It was like 30-second diagnosis. I had a carry van in with evap code, had a bad NVLD switch, just very, very simple basic stuff. So I didn't record those. So I'm trying to get some of these mechanical jobs. I do show you one trick that grandma taught me. What was that on? It was a good one. Oh, it was on the brake video. You guys will like that. Total grandma trick on that one, using a folded up rag in between the pads. I ain't going to give it away. Don't be calling my grandma. Yeah, lawnmower tires, ATV tire mounting sucks. Well, Richard 440, you might like my video because the part that sucks about them is trying to hold them. So I get the tip on that with the threaded rod and the vise and holding it. I also show the trick on how not to be chasing that bead around in circles. So hopefully that, hopefully you guys like it. Anyways, there's some videos coming out. They're not my usual stuff. I hope you guys like them. Anyways, what's my opinion? What is your opinion if you only put 3,000 miles in 11 to 12 months? Is it okay to wait until you hit that to change oil? Should you be changing every 6 months? In my opinion, Lightning Smoker Double X, I would just change oil. And I was talking with a customer about this today. So right now, the Advanced Auto has Mobile One on sale, and then their Super Ultra Filter. Let me see what they are. Glad we stock up. So I get these for my Toyota sometimes when it's on sale. Protects your for up to 1 year, 20,000 miles. There's like $20-some oil filter. So you get the 5 quarts of the Mobile One, full synthetic, and one of these filters for like $28.99. So I buy a couple for my truck, for Mrs. O's van, for my Jeeps, for various stuff around the house that runs on an engine. And I'm talking to the guy about this, and he's looking at it, he's like, wow, you don't change your oil for a whole year? And I'm like, that is stupid. This is stupid. This is the stupidest thing I ever heard of. First of all, you start seeing all these articles about time and chain wear. And it's not time and chain stretch. So time and chains, the links, the side links, the pins wear out, and then ultimately the chain is longer than it was. It didn't physically stretch in dimensions. Just the pins wore out from improper service intervals. For the $28.99 that it costs for you to buy, top grade oil, top of the line oil filter, just freaking change it, for crying out loud. Why would you chance it and say, well, that says 20,000 miles. Big deal. Here's $30. Go, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to me for the price of oil. I mean, it's not like, it's going to cost you $1,000 every time you do it. I mean, it is the cheapest insurance that you can have. So yeah, on my stuff, I change them every 5,000. I would rather overchange my oil than, or under, yeah, I would rather change it too often than not often enough. And I certainly wouldn't go off the service intervals. That's just my opinion. Glenn says a Mobile One says 15K and I'd go for it. We drive a Corvette, Glenn. That's different. Typically I run, Toyota filters in my Toyota because they're dirt cheap to buy. I think the Toyota factory filter for my Tundra is like $4. Might cost $4 and some change. So I usually get those. But when this deal comes up, I grab that mobile filter. Why not? Like Advance will have this on sale. Walmart always has a Mobile One on sale. Why wouldn't you? I guess I don't see people's obsession with these higher and higher and higher intervals. I don't understand it. Well, of course, Lon, you recycle the oil. I mean, I don't understand. I've yet to wrap my head around the whole, never have to change your oil. These manufacturers are obsessed with it. I don't know if it's to present to the people the fact that, yes, your cost of maintaining this vehicle is lower, but yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Oh, how did you like the maple? Oh crap, that's right. I still have another box. I left it sitting down here. Totally ran out of time. I'm sorry about that, Travis. I left everything sitting on this. We'll finish our little rant here about the oil changes. Anyways, what's your guys' opinion on the extended intervals? Am I blatantly missing something on it? But to me, it seems ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I don't understand it. I'm just kind of curious to see what you guys say. Every 3,000. Yeah, Philip K. He says this bullshit. That's what he says. And Nick also got blacked out, but he says it's a crock of shh. Yeah, I mean, at my Tundra, the thing holds, I think, 9 quarts, 8.5 quarts. 5,000. Just dump it out. 3 to 4K max. Getting some thumbs down. Even if Mobile One came and was like, that's them knocking on my door and says, hey, will you show our oil that you only have to change it once a year? I'd be like, nah, get out of here. Even if they're like, here's $20,000. I'm like, get out of here. I'm not going to tell people that. No way. And I don't even really make money on oil changes, so it's not that. So Rick Anderson brings up a question. He drives one of his vehicles 5,000 miles in a year. What would I recommend? If it was me, I would change the oil on it in 6 months. If I drove it like that. You can't combat condensation. If you're in an area where you get temperature swings and, condensation, I just wouldn't. I mean, there is probably, an oil biologist that could tell you like, oh no, the molecular structure of the oil is, good for however long. Well, good. But if I drove a vehicle 5,000 miles and my investment was $60 a year, that's super cheap insurance instead of saying, yeah, it might be good, it might not be good. I actually had this customer, he had a C6, actually the one I put the Billy Boat exhaust on. That fella, heck of a nice guy, pretty intelligent too, but he didn't drive the vet a lot, and he would only change oil in that sucker once a year and always debated whether to change it on the following year until he drove it for a while, and that always just like blew my mind. Like, just why wouldn't you just change the oil? People are obsessed with this. I mean, these long intervals, they have like a cult-like following, like, I'm never going to change my oil. I have another customer who has like this special filter, and he has to send in an oil sample to see if he should change his oil or just his filter. And I just don't get it. Like, just spend the $6 on a filter and some freaking oil, man. I don't get it. Okay. Breathe. I don't get it. Let's see. Yeah, I think yes, yeah. Step over $1 to pick up a dime, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Lighting smoke, that's the best thing you can hope for. I don't know. It's cheap. Just do it. Yeah, it's an Audi, 20,000 mile intervals. This one V-dub I work on, I don't work on many, but when I reset the oil light on that, it goes 10,000. It's this little turbocharged Volkswagen CC, and it's 10,000 mile interval, holds like 4.5 quarts. And I'm just like, it's turbocharged, variable can timing, all this stuff. Why don't you just do it every 5,000? I don't know. Yeah, people don't like to throw away something they think is still good. Well, save it and give it to somebody who can use it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, 10,000 on a turbo engine. Yeah, no way. That's what I say. But, let's see. What's this one here? Let's see. What's he say? What aftermarket exhaust would you put on the Tundra if you had a gun to my head? Well, if somebody's like, pick an aftermarket exhaust, you fool. I am a fan of the Gibson. I like the Gibson Dual Sport if I want to be specific. If I was going to put exhaust on the Tundra, I would get the stainless steel Gibson Dual Sport because I'm not a big fan of the two bazookas hanging out the back. That's 1980s. Don't really like that. It depends on what it is. You know, sometimes I like the split tips out the corners, you know, the old skirt blowers, a couple over there. If it's a cool car, I like my Laker pipes. But on the trucks, I do like a twin tip exit out the passenger side. So that's why I like the Gibson Dual Sport, in case you had to ask. I'm glad you brought that up. I had one on an old Chevrolet, and that thing sounded fantastic. Just a great sound exhaust. They're kind of expensive, but they sound really nice. Let's see. What do you think warrants a complete overhaul on big diesels? Dad truck says 1.1 million. Cummins ISX 450 doesn't burn any oil. Should he do it? Well, 1.1 million is a long ways to go. I think from when I worked at the truck shop, a lot of truckers would bring them in simply based on miles. You know, they would simply do an in-frame at 1 million miles. Some of you tore apart and they were still looked good. I do know some truckers actually do engine oil analysis to check, you know, copper and lead content to see if they're starting to have some bearing breakdown. And it's hard to say. I mean, I was just at my dad's. It's actually on the video. He has one of those tore apart currently. It was in the $20-some thousand range to do one. Of course, that got a new head, new turbo, of course, you know, bearings and liners and pistons and, you know, the whole spiel. So they're pretty spendy. I believe if it was my truck and I was making money with it, if I was at 1.1 million and I had some, you know, funds set aside and the truck was in good shape, I probably would go for it at that mileage, just based on miles and time. But it is a big expense. You know, you're not talking a $2,000 overhaul. So that's just my unprofessional opinion on that. At any rate, we got to dip back into one of the viewers who sent us stuff from for What's Up Wednesday last week. Actually, Travis Peoples, who sent us a letter. And he has this picture of him and his fam jam on here. I don't want to share that with you because I feel it's a little more personal. We got reading down through his letter. Remember now, this guy was talking about his transfer case and his ability to repair that after watching some SMA action on that and how he did some upgrades on the transfer case vent and went through the whole spiel. And this was on a transfer case that was already rebuilt when he got it. So we will continue on through his letter here. I didn't mean to be disrespectful there, Travis. It was sitting down here, and for some reason I thought I already looked at it. I almost missed you 2 weeks in a row. Let's see here. So we'll continue on. From then on, and he writes, from then on, when I needed info on a project, I turned to SMA first. Man, I've learned so much helpful information. Besides the T-case and the Chevrolet, we have an 09 Honda Odyssey, which I took your advice on the Asian timing belt kit after watching your video. Thank you. She runs like a champ, and you were right. It is the OEM stuff. No more tensioner rattling on cold startups. Plus, it saved us a ton of money. Oh, yeah. I think we already read through this part. Travis, yeah, the guy who did the 6.0 swap, the whole, it's all coming back to me now. You have to, my mind is nothing but a blur. Let's see. We also have a 1999 spark plug spit and V10 in our motorhome with a disappearing exhaust manifold hardware, which I'll be working on soon. Should I go ahead and replace the spark plugs now? Should I install inserts in all 10s now before it comes to problems down the road? What's your advice on that one? My advice on that one is I don't know. Personally, I would take the chance and do the spark plugs. If this was me, I would just take them out and do them. And I say that because some of the Fords that I've seen that have, let's say, spit the spark plug out, it has only taken out the top couple threads. So that leads me to believe that perhaps the spark plug was coming loose prior to blowing out. And also, with that being said, I've taken them out before and every single thread's come with them. I guess if it was me, I wouldn't go through and put inserts in the head unless I absolutely had to. If everything is hunky-dory right now, I would pull them out, get some Motorcraft plugs, and reinstall them, torquing them to spec. And good luck on the manifold, sir. I do have a V10 video, and I will be honest with you, every V10 I've ever done, which I've done lots of them, they are the only ones that fight me. I'll do 5.4s, 4.6s all day long, spin the bolts out. No problem. You get a V10 in, the back two on both sides are always a PITA, a PITA. That's an acronym for naughty word. And I will fight with them for a long time. I've always won. I've only ever had the helicoil one in my life, but I've always gotten them out. So judging by your picture, I think you can handle it. I think so. Let's carry on. I come from a long line of mechanics. It's in my blood. So there you go. You can handle it. I began working on vehicles at the young age and has progressed into a hobby passion of mine. My uncle owns and operates a small shop here in town. Same struggles, same headaches, different location, less rust. Plus, my dad is a retired truck driver, so watching you and your family is so much like my own. I can relate to all of it. And I never realized, and perhaps never would have realized, how similar folks from the upstate New York are from our little hometown folks here in Tennessee, TN. No doubt when you think of the people of TN, you think backwoods, hillbilly, barefoot, chew, spit, and have 6 teeth. And 4 of those, I read that too fast, and 4 of those in their overall bib pocket. Likewise, when I think of New Yorkers, I think of backstabbing Yankees, argumentative, know-it-all, unfriendly, always in a hurry jackass. However, after watching your videos, I have a completely different perspective. You guys are backwoods, barefoot, etc., etc. LOL, just kidding. Well, that is all completely true. If you don't believe that, Mr. Peoples, drive up here and park in the Walmart parking lot, and that will confirm your theory, or better yet, come up and visit the Steuben County Fair, where you will see all sorts of walks of life. Seriously, I've found new respect for you folks in New York. Lots of great people up there and beautiful country too, but those winters, ugh. New Yorkers, get some grit. Looks like it gets pretty rough up there, and the rust, oh my, the struggle is real, and that is true. I cannot get over the rust. It's shocking. I'm thinking buy a new vehicle, disassemble it, have a hot dip galvanize the body, frame, exhaust manifolds, repaint it, reassemble with stainless steel hardware, coated in anti-seize, and it would be worth it. Well, you're probably right, and there is actually a place not too far away that can hot dip galvanize item the size of an automobile, even bigger. And it's amazing to me to see how much weight hot dip galvanizing adds to a component. So just a little fun fact for you, in case you were really thinking about hot dip galvanizing your vehicle. As I watched more and more of your videos, I learned more and more about you and your fam jam. So I thought it would be a nice change for you to learn a little bit about one of your viewers. So here it goes. So we're going to learn about Mr. Peoples. Am I okay to read this? I hope so. Maybe I should wait for him to reply if he's still watching. Maybe he's all embarrassed. Hopefully not. He's a good guy. You can tell by his picture. Family-oriented man. You can tell. You can tell a lot about a guy by his picture and his family. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Well, he's not telling me not to. So we'll keep reading. He is a 41-year-old. I feel like I'm reading something off Craigslist. 41-year-old male seeking. Oh, no, just kidding. I'm 41 years old, married to an amazing woman. Where's Mrs. O? No, I'm just kidding. I'm married to an amazing woman, too. We got something in common, even though you're a tad older than me because I haven't hit the big 4-0 yet. Who happens to be a few years younger than myself. High five. Way to go, bro. We have been happily married for 8 years next month. I wonder how many of them were unhappy. And we have 4 awesome children. Wait a minute, 8 years, 4 kids. Well, he's just like me. Every couple years, boom, boom, baby factory. I won't say anymore. 2 boys, 2 girls. He gives their names. And we have 1 dog named Buddy who swam out to our boat one day at the lake and decided we were his family. Buddy's a blue heeler, something other mix. We also have 5 birds. And my sister-in-law, who happens to be my wife's identical twin, owns and operates a pet shop. So every time she visits, our pet family seems to grow. Now, it sounds like she's pawning some stuff off on you, man. I have a lot of questions for this guy. Some of them I should just keep to myself. Let's see. So every time she visits, her family seems to grow. Oh, and some kind of small blue fish with long fins. Probably a betta fish. I think my kids have those in little jars, and they don't do anything. They just kind of swim around until they die, like years later. My wife and I are both former Marines. Although I was no longer active duty when she enlisted, we met in South Carolina after both of us had gotten out of the corps. I was a motor vehicle operator in an infantry battalion. I chose that MOS because my dad was a motor T in the Army in Vietnam. I chose the Marine Corps in hopes to gain this necessary discipline needed to survive in this little world we live in. After graduating high school, I knew I wasn't ready, and the Marine Corps helped me prepare. That is a great decision that you made there, and that was a decision that I was going to make had I not felt that I was prepared to go do something. And that's what I've, often thought that, people could do is, you get out of school, if you're not, maybe college isn't your thing or you don't know what your thing, serve your country. And that's what I thought that, perhaps, I may have done out of school because, if I didn't know where I was heading, why not go around, see the world, learn a trade, what better way to do it than get paid and serve your country. Where are we at? My wife was a tactical data systems computer geek in the air wing. She's beautiful and smart. High five again. I'm a refrigeration technician. I learned refrigeration and pharmaceutical manufacturing industry while in Southern California. Cascade and compound ultra low temp laboratory junk and work on industrial anhydrous ammonia systems now. Probably pronounce it wrong. I'm not good with the multi-syllable words, man. Keep it simple. I'm from upstate. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, and she homeschools our children. I knew it. I called that. 3 of which are active in sports. My wife, my 8-year-old, also play the piano. Never a dull moment in our house. I can totally relate with you. My oldest boy is a piano player. I can't. I know where middle C is. That's pretty much where I end. I love homeschool kids. They're always so respectful. My boy Josh that worked there, he was a homeschool kid. His dad was a pastor, and he was homeschooled. And there's a lot of homeschoolers in our area here. And the homeschool kids, if they're socialized, are usually very nice children. That's just my personal opinion. Because they don't get away with the crap in the public schools. Let's see. Also, we wanted to give you and your family a little taste of Tennessee. So the Goo-Go clusters from Nashville, Tennessee, the Moon Pies from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and although the Maple Nut Goodies didn't originate in Tennessee, I know you really like maple syrup and thought you might like them. You're correct. The apple pies, apple butter, are homemade from scratch by my wife. I know. It's weird and awkward, homemade stuff from strangers because it has crack in it. He didn't write that, but that's what I always think. We will not be offended if you're freaked out. I'm not freaked out. Not at all. Like I say before in a previous note, we are clean people. These are all prepared in the kitchen by clean hands, and it has become somewhat of a family tradition of ours to go out to my dad's farm in the fall, pick the apples after washing their hands. He didn't write that, but I know he meant it. And then make some homemade apple pies and apple butter, which apple butter is fantastic. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but it is amazing. We really like them and hope you guys will too. However, we will not be offended if you decide to permanently format them instead of thoroughly enjoying them. There are your gifts. You can do with them, do what you want with them. I recommend a couple of scoops of vanilla bean ice cream. I'm glad that he specified vanilla bean. That shows this fella's attention to detail because we all know vanilla bean is better than plain old vanilla. Why? Because it has the little black spots in it and it just tastes better. I like this guy. Let's see. Let's see where we're at here. Our children usually make apple butter and peanut butter sandwiches with the apple butter. I like apple butter on my toast and sometimes my pancakes, to be honest with you. Don't forget to refrigerate the apple butter after you open it. My wife has included apple pie cooking instructions for Mrs. O. Now that I've bored you to death with all that, it never ceases to amaze me how relative everything is, how the fundamental basics apply across the board. For example, how everything in the refrigeration world applies to the automotive world, et cetera, et cetera. The things that I learned in the refrigeration industry give me better understanding and greater effectiveness in the automotive world. And how the things that I learned in the automotive industry give me better understanding, greater effectiveness in the refrigeration world. Thanks again. We really appreciate your efforts. kindness and humor. God bless you and your family and your business. Travis and Dana, the peoples. Oh, I thought you said yuck to the apple butter. Yeah, apple butter is amazing. And he did send, most of these are gone. The Goo Goo clusters. These things are pretty good. Wasn't expecting a whole lot, but I ate them and they were amazing. Now, one thing I have not opened, the apple butter is in the fridge, and the apple pie filling. I have not opened the moon pie since 1917. Hope that's not how long it's been sitting around. What do you got going on there, Glenn? A little side conversation. Oh, moon pie. Oh, I think I've seen these little fellas before. Calories only 20. I think that's got to be labeled wrong. If it's only 20 calories, I'll eat like 10 of these. Oh, 220. Go figure. That's okay. Because I've never counted calories. But these are right from Chattanooga Bakery Incorporated, Chattanooga, Tennessee, moon pies. I'm not going to eat one right now because I'm already nuked up on sugar. And it flares up my arthritis. But I will definitely eat these. So thank you for the kind letters. Your detailed explanation of the 6-0 Schwab. Sheba, I'm not opening them. Taking the time to pick the apples, make the apple butter, wrap them up in a cute little package with the little netting over the top, and sharing with me your story. Not a lot of viewers tell me about themselves. And that's usually what I find the most interesting when they stop by the shop to visit is like, well, what do you do? Why are you watching my channel? I understand now from watching this why the Peoples, it's awesome that his last name is Peoples. Why they, we all come from different walks of life. So it's pretty interesting hearing, some of these people that come in that they never turn a wrench in their life, but they like the SMA channel, which, I don't understand. But when I think about it, some of the channels I watch, I don't relate to them whatsoever. It's like the opposites attract thing, that kind of stuff. So the guy that was in today, he was telling me what he did, blew my mind. I won't share it, but it was just kind of neat. And then I had another guy stop in here from New York City. He was a police officer down there, retired, shared some war stories, told me about crashing helicopters, all kinds of stuff. That was super cool. So it is very interesting to me to hear what my viewers do, where they come from, stuff like that. So I can't believe I almost forgot that. I felt like a super jerk taking care of stuff at the end and meant like, oh, that's it. So where are we at? Over here in the chit chat. 1,400 folks watching. Mind blown again. Who's that shared the vid yet? What vid? Erico Cola. No. Oh, there's the homie Hector up in here. What's up, homie? How often do you change your power steering fluid? I don't know, because there's typically not an interval on it. I do mine somewhere between 30 and 60,000. Not real diligent about that. I just did Mrs. O's on her van. That went a little longer than it probably should have. Changing power steering fluid is a pain in the butt. I use my fluid extractor, basically, suck out the reservoir, replenish it. Thanks, William Francis. How's it going? Replenish it, circulate it. Sometimes I'll, unhook the, return line to the reservoir and just key on engine off, just, flush out the fluid, fill it up and, we usually just end up running a couple quarts through it until it looks clean. They do make exchange machines for them that essentially do the same thing. They fill it up and suck it out all at the same time. So that's how we do that. Yeah, or turkey baster, stuff like that. Yeah, I use fluid extractor. Yes, 29 Auto, we have actually all been here waiting for you. I see you just got here. Thank you finally for joining us. Let's see, do walk-ins get in the way of work, and how do you handle walk-ins? Well, it depends on what kind of walk-in you're talking about. If it is a walk-in in need of repair, if the repair can wait, then I get them on a schedule. I typically cannot handle walk-in work where, because I'm usually in the middle of a job. If for some reason I'm not, or I'm waiting on a part, something like that, or, if they have a flat tire and they're like stranded, yeah, of course I'm going to help the people out. if they break down, something like that. Usually that just makes for a late night because I tend to think like, you know, how would I want to be treated if I was from out of town and I broke down? And, you know, if I can't, if there's just absolutely no way, I try to find them a place that can, or, you know, call out my brothers like, hey, you know, look, can you, you know, take care of these people, you know, whatever. So I try to not be a jerkwad. What we got here? What's on the second floor, like up above me? Like up here on the second floor? My laboratory. No, just storage. Here you go. Want a peanut? Yeah, you probably don't want that. It's not sugar coated. Mrs. O got me some mixed nuts. I keep them on my toolbox because I need a snack like all the time. It is finally warming up out, which is great. I know nobody asked that, and I stated that like somebody did, in case you're wondering, because I am sick of winter. It's cold and rainy right now, but we've had a couple days where the doors have been open, and that is so good. It totally changes your attitude because you're like, the doors are open and the light's shining through, and it was like, you know, 58. Oh, it was so warm. It was amazing. Yeah, I was so excited to have it warmed up. Oh, Dorman, you reminded me. Let me go in the office and get something. Man, good hustle. Good hustle. Got something here for you guys. You're going to like this. This here's from my neighbor. He's a reverend. The old reverend. I don't know if he's a reverend. He's a Methodist pastor. I don't know if they're reverendized or not, but he found this and he brought it to me because apparently he watches the SMA channel, which I didn't know. And he knows we like Dorman, but check that baby out. Antique Dorman washer selection on a spinny thing. 3/8, 5/16, quarter, 3/16. Where does it end? It doesn't. It just goes round and round. That baby is a relic. This is probably back when Dorman couldn't even make a container to hold their stuff anymore because it wouldn't be this good. He thought it was pretty funny sending me something Dorman. I haven't even opened it up yet. This is a Cincinnati, Ohio, made in USA. Ain't no made in China crap. This is back when Dorman was good. Let's open this thing up. Boom. Oh, look at that. Look at the engineering that went into this thing. So you take and you spin it. You're like, oh, I need a 3/16. Boom, you spin that. It's like a thing for your split shot sinkers when you're children. Boom, look at that. You just spin it. Then you're like, oh, there they are. There's my washers. So that size says, I think I went right in my coffee. That size says 1/2 inch, but that's not a 1/2 inch washer. And it has a whole hodgepodge of mixed stuff. If Dorman made it nowadays, this is really what would be in there. They'd be like, oh, we didn't know you wanted a specific size. What's this one? The 5/16 here. We'll tip the camera down. Where are we at here? That's what's in the 5. They look about right. Not so mixed up. Got one oddballer in there. That's pretty much it. So kind of cool how they did that. And then they put the little lid on, so you're like, bam, cover that baby back up. Look at that. The old Dorman, dumping out garbage parts since 1918. Or at least that's according to my sign that one of my viewers made for me. I keep this hanging on my wall. I love it. That's some funny stuff right there. I don't care who you are. Yeah, it was before Johnny Chang started getting his paycheck from Dorman. Yeah. Yeah, totally vintage. I'm going to keep this around and remind me that Dorman was not always junk like they are now. So what's going on? Let's see, Dorman Company run by Doorman. Yeah. What's going on out there in the YouTube world? I don't really have much to talk about. I really want to get out some videos. Do you guys have any objection to having mechanical videos coming out. Stuff that I think is just mundane and dumb. I'm just asking. A lot of this stuff, I'm like, man, this is dumb. I don't want to record it. And then I do. And then you guys seem to kind of enjoy it. He named his firstborn Dorman. Kid's a punching bag now. No, just kidding. Let's see. Any video. I got one any video. Dumb suits me. You make it fun. No problem. Fire is fun. Yeah, we haven't burned anything this yet. Brake line bending. All right. Well, I'll do them, but forgive me if they seem kind of mundane. I have a lot of brake jobs, and I just don't know how many brake jobs you can do before they're just like, oh, great, it's another brake job. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Yeah, I got Mrs. O's timing belt. That job's coming up. She actually put it on the books. I fixed half of her van last week. Didn't record any of it because it's just service stuff. Bob teases no brake jobs. I do have a new smoke machine out there. I got to do a little video on, a little tool time. I don't think I've gotten any more. Trying to think what I got in a line of tools. I've been buying some stuff. Of course, got to get started on Project Jeep. I don't want to give that all away. I see you. What do you want from me? Oh, you want another peanut? Here you go. Yeah, you want another peanut? Here you go. It's no wonder she don't like dog food. More tire change stuff. You guys have to let me know if you like the my wife puts her vehicle. What's that say? Miss JC's comment here. My wife puts her vehicle on my list and I take it off. I ain't got no time for that. Let's fist bump for that, JC. So Mrs. O gets really pissed sometimes when she doesn't get pissed because she never really does. If she does, I just make a couple of jokes and then she's good to go. Sometimes she gets a little upset because she'll put her vehicle on the book for the entire day and cross off everything, not schedule anything. But I usually have enough little, what I call extra jobs going on. I pretty much fill up the whole day with that and then don't completely finish her job. So this time I told her, I did a lot of the jobs she needed done on the van, but now I've got to do the timing belt. I've got to fix the one passenger sliding door. I got to put the closer motor in that and the hinge. Apparently, I see I got a new hinge out there for that. Timing belt, closer motor, hinge, and brake fluid flush. I believe that's all I have left, and then the van is good to go. Yep, and that will be good. So I had to put it back on the books so I could finish what I've started. Let's see. Complete brake line replacement. If I ever get another Chevrolet in that has the lines all rotted out, I will do one of that. One of the few products Dorman makes that's pretty nice is that stainless steel brake line kit. I hate to say that out loud, fear that they may hear me. Shop tour, Mac tool truck tour. I could do the Mac tool truck. My Mac man, nice guy, name's Jim. Been at it a while. That's right. Yeah, I just bought something off Jim. That's what I bought. Yeah. 23 millimeter socket. They always skip them in the dang set. And I always freaking need it. And you wouldn't think, like, 23, what's that fit? Well, a lot of different stuff. So I ordered them. Got them babies in. That's what I bought off old Jim. What else? A pair of gloves, too. I don't know where they're at. Let's see. Many train cooler lines have been replaced. Had to be replaced. Oh, your train cooler lines. We do a lot of train cooler lines. Just did some the other day on a Jeep, which worked out well for me. It was a Liberty. No, it wasn't. The Grand Cherokee. I think it's a 10. But I had the oil pan off it. Last week was oil pan week. I got a couple, 2-3 oil pans sitting over there in the bucket right now, rusted out. And I had the oil pan off. As I get the oil pan out, I dropped the front diff down. And I also had to do training lines, which worked out great because with the oil pan off and the front diff down, it was like done. Piece of cake. What do we got here? Who smells pop? I don't smell no popcorn. It's just me here. Everybody likes their own flavor. Want to do some AC expansion valve? I'm choking on a peanut. On a rust-free vehicle. Determining the superheat factor is probably what he's talking about. I'm not real fluent in AC because our season is so short. I always got to read through my notes in my book and refresh myself on the exact temperatures of in and out of thermal expansion valves to determine pressures, and it gets frustrating to me. But yeah, I would be more than happy to diagnose your AC. Sometimes I struggle for a little bit in the beginning of the year, get it nailed down in the middle of the year, and then it's winter. Yeah, but yeah, I doubt it's rust-free in New York. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't mind living in the Rust Belt. It just becomes kind of a way of life, to be honest with you. You know, I don't know anything other than rusty cars and trucks. You know, I just assume when the vehicle is out of warranty, let's say it's 3 years old, it's going to be a rust bucket, and you just deal with it. You know, you get what I like to say, you get a couple cans of spray and start douching stuff down. And I'll be honest with you, have come to the determination after being a mechanic for however many years I have been, 15, 18 years, whatever, that I don't really believe that whatever stuff you use, I don't have, oddly enough, don't have any other penetrating oils here because I've been using this. You know, even after watching the AVE's video, so if you guys watch the AVE channel, he did one on penetrating oils, controlled test of this and WD and, you know, freeze off and, you know, super wrench and monkey juice and every other brand out there. And even for the one that has the cult-like following, as he called it, of the Croyle, and nothing's really any better than any of the rest. And I don't know. And I've sprayed rusty crap my whole life, you know, working bolts and spraying. I still just like my plain old WD, you know. I've yet to get something where I spray it on and I'm just like, wow, that really cracked loose. I believe that with rusty fasteners, which I've dealt with my entire life, you know, once you crack it loose and then you spray it, you know, at that point, you know, perhaps the lubrication of, you know, a certain spray may work better over another one. But as far as just, you know, like today, totally smashed my freaking pinky finger. Now it's purple on the end and it's going to turn all nasty like this one and all that stuff. But, you know, I had sprayed these tie rod ends overnight and they looked good on the outside, sprayed them, you know, sprayed them last night, sprayed them this morning, come in to crack them loose. You still end up heating them. And, you know, once you crack it loose and, you know, it turns hard, you spray it, work it. I don't know what your guys' thought is. You know, I mean, I've used WD, I've used PB, I've used Croyle, I've used the homemade brew, I've used everything, and I've yet to say like, wow, that works great. I don't know. That's just my thing. Let's see, what's this say? I've been running a business from my home for a while. Some jobs take longer than the book time. Do you charge by the hour or book? Any advice for starters? Well, Jotes, that is something that you have to determine yourself. What I typically do is I quote off the book time. I'll say the wheel bearing on this Honda takes, you know, 3.3 hours. If I start into that job and I can tell right away that something bad's about to happen because you're only one broken bolt from a 3-day ordeal, I usually stop right there and call a customer and say, look, you know, I'm at a stopping point where I can just stop and you can leave with your car just as it came in, or there's a potential that this is going to take, I know I quoted you 3.5 hours on the estimate, we call it. I potentially could have 5 hours into this. Are you willing to, you know, go that far with it? 99% of the time you get the green light, and as long as they're aware, nobody likes surprises. Now, if you made a quote and you told the customer, I'm going to do the job for this price, and you guys agreed on it, you have a signed work order saying that this is what the customer is going to pay, bottom line, then that's your own fault. I suppose you eat it at that point. Being in the business long enough, I can typically know which jobs are going to go south on me, and I know when to write an estimate and when to write a quote. And sometimes I'll leave the clause of, this is pending, tearing this apart. Yes, I can quote you on, let's say, they come in and say, oh, my brakes are scraping. And you go outside and you take a peek through the wheels and you see that the, outside pad on the, rear rotor is dragging, is ground off. You see the inside one is like new. So, perhaps you got something going on, caliper pins, calipers, whatever. So you can quote them on, let's say, pads, rotors, and calipers. But you have to make them aware that, when I pull that rotor off, there could be some parking brake shoe problems. You take the rotor off, parking brake shoes fall in a heap. So usually I'll just explain that to them. I'll quote, what I can see short of tearing it apart. If we have to do parking brake shoes and cables and parking brake actuator, it's going to be this amount, but I won't know till I tear it apart. Most customers, they just like to be informed, is what I've determined. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully it helps. Oh, let's see. What we got here? Now you guys are over here talking about beer and corn dogs. Honda captured rotor. Why? Don't know. But GM seen that and said, hey, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that on the Colorado. Let's see what we got here. So William, you don't have to keep doing super chats, pal. I do appreciate that. It was my mistake for not turning that off today. I do appreciate it. I see that you wrote here, that's what happened to you. One pad okay, and the other one got dug into. Super common. Can be caused by various things. Seized up pads in your caliper, pads in the caliper bracket, seized up pins, bad caliper. Lots of stuff can cause those issues. Depends on which pad is burned up and which one isn't, depending on what the situation could be. But the best way to tell is just tear it apart, see what's broke. You never had apple butter, John? Man, what goes on up there in Canada? Can't believe you've never had any apple butter. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's not like crappy apple butter. You're like, apple butter sucks. Maybe if you became friends with old Travis here, you could get his wife to whip you up some. Where's Mrs. O? She is home currently with the chillins. They were at my grandma's, or at their grandma's, my ma's, and she picked them up and went home probably to make dinner, stuff like that. Oh, actually, no, I'm trying to remember. Because we're coming into baseball season, so we're in practice time right now. Let's see what we got. How's that syrup? The syrup from the WTF Farm Girls that we were talking about, Michael? It's gone. How's that? It was good, though. Thank you. Let's see. Yes, all the kids are healed up. Mrs. O wasn't feeling too hot today. Let's see. Scrapple? Oh, man, I'm not a big Scrapple guy. I think Helga brought some, I think, to our house one time when she was there, cooked up some Scrapple. I prefer pancake. My favorite, but like pancake, French toast, waffle. I like French toast. On the thicker, like if you buy the French toast bread, the thick stuff. That's my fave. How do you pronounce the name Obuchka? Obrochta? No. It depends on if you're a telemarketer or not. If you're a telemarketer, it's Obuchka or Obrochta. If you live here in Avoca, it's Obrochta. Or just that's why I keep it short. Texas French toast. Yeah, there you go. Texas toast. That's what I was thinking. Let's see. So I really don't have anything to talk about, guys. So I'm just kind of sitting here just, whatever, checking out the comments. I don't get a chance to read the comments much. That's why I liked it last week because I was able to turn off, the super chat, which I assumed was still off, and then I get burned. Let's see. Oh, yeah. There's rumor that I can beatbox. I can't beatbox. I wish I could. Waka waka, like I wish I could beatbox. I'm always going around here rapping and rhyming and singing Mrs. O's songs. I got to read another one of these. No, I don't. Just stop it. I'm gonna go for another maple nut goodie. I wish I could beatbox, but I can't. But I do sing Mrs. O songs, and it's a good thing that I do not play a musical instrument because I love making up songs, and I make up some pretty funny songs, and she thinks it's pretty funny, and I make her up love songs, and I sing them usually to the tone of somebody else's song naturally. So I would be more like a Weird Al Yankovic. That's how you say his last name. It's not even really his last name, I don't think so. But I like doing that kind of stuff. Oh, wicked hard, Chief. I tried to bite it in half for you. Where'd it go? I forgot that they were hard. I would rather learn how to dubstep than beatbox if I had a choice, because I think dubstepping is way cooler. There's Sophia, as we were corrected by my wife. I don't believe so, Sophia. I will check. Sometimes my Facebook messages there, young lady, get in the mix. There'll be like hundreds of them on there. I will try to find your dad's message on there and see what it says. So I'm sorry if you wrote something and I missed it. What do we got here? You knew I was a good dude. Let's see what we got here. You guys got your own little conversation going on, so I'm just trying to catch up on something. 10-year-old car with 33,000 miles and power steering never fluid change. This timer in mile and manner and power steering fluid change interval. At 10 years, I don't know. Again, it's kind of like oh, it's about the Jeep. I'll definitely check that out. If it was 10 years old and it's kind of like the oil change stuff, if it's just, General Motors, you can get a couple of quarts of power steering fluid relatively cheap. I think if I was doubting something like, should I change my power steering fluid or change my brake fluid, and I had the ability to do so, I likely just would. Hopefully that answers your question. Lightning Smoker, and he is big time pro fluid film. This guy should be a salesman for fluid film or Crown or Rust Check. He likes them all. I don't know his real name. I think I do, if I remember correctly. But this guy promotes this stuff to like no end. Loves it. Maybe he even works for the company. Crown, yeah, there we go. He's a crowner. But he's always joyful whenever I spray the fluid film. I had some Crown out here. Here he is. Watch this. This guy's got all worked up. He'll be peeing his pants. I'm running low on Crown. I actually got to get some more. What waffle maker do I got? Oh, Steve, you're bringing up bad memories. I have not the what are they? Is it the English waffle, the round one? I don't have that one. Mine makes the 4 squares, and I've got that thing down to a science. I'm loving my waffles, but you have to have the right mix so it gets the right amount of crust. If you get like the cheap pancakes mix, the Krusties brand, where you just add the water, any of the ones where you just add the water, they don't crust up like the kind where you have to add the egg and the oil and buttermilk, and you can make your own homemade buttermilk. I believe it's like milk and lemon juice and let it stand and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I could get into the waffle technology and which ones I prefer. That guy's been watching dubstepping. I like watching dubstep techno, but I can't move like that. I can't even do like the robot, I can do the lawnmower, them dance. I try to show Trinity my dance moves. She thinks it's hilarious. She likes to dance, so I dance with her. I give her all my moves. I show her all my moves, you've got, you've got the lawnmower, starting a lawnmower. That's a classic dance move. You've got the lawn sprinkler, that one. Then what else you got? You got the Q-tip, and then you throw it away. And the Q-tip, and then you throw it away. That dance move, I do that one. I've got a lot of the sweet moves, but they're mostly old school ones. Let's see. The weed eater dance move. That's right. Yeah, you can do the weed eater. That one's more of a straight down dance move right there. Last time I rebuilt a carburetor, I've actually got one out on my shelf that is freshly overhauled. Oh, the shopping cart. That's right. That's a good move. Oh, man. The stanky leg. Do the stanky leg. Oh, my gosh. I ain't going to show you how I twerk. Right there, you just missed it. You know, the chicken dance, the Macarena. You know, I do all them moves. So there's nah, forget about it. Oh, do you want me to tell you? I think probably all the bad guys are gone now. I'll tell you about the opossum. Man, Sheba scared me. That was a week ago today. Man, it freaked me out. I want to lose my dog. Oh, what we got here? The robot tennis elbow, same thing. Uh-oh, getting texted. Maybe it's my wife. Oh, nope, it's Mr. Randy. What's this? Let's see. Just a minute. Hold on, folks. I got to see. It could be super important. Oh, crap. I can't see it on my phone. Sorry, Randy. I will. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it is. Let's see what we got. Nope. It is. That link doesn't work there. Send me that link on the Facebook, Randy, if you would, please, because I can't open it on my phone. Anywho, so I get home last week. Sheba, of course, riding in my truck, get home. It's cold, rainy. I get out and, you know, open the door on the truck. She runs, you know, she just goes out in the yard. It's dark out. And I go to take care of the coal stove. I go inside, shake down the ashes, you know, pull the ash pan out. I'm walking outside, it's dark, and I got a spot over in the hedgerow that I dug out with the backhoe that I dump all my ashes in, and I scoop them up at the summertime and move them to a different location, and I bury them. Whatever, that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is I'm walking across the yard, carrying my ashes, and I hear this dog barking. Bark, 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 bark. And it sounds like a bigger dog, you know, deeper chested dog. And I hear it across the road. But the problem is nobody lives there. There's somebody down the road further and there's somebody up the road further. So I'm like listening to this dog and I'm thinking like, you know, is there some dog that got loose that, you know, maybe perhaps was dragging a chain or, you know, whatever, and it got tangled up? Because that's the problem. Like if you tie up your dog when you go away or something and they get loose and they're dragging the chain, the problem is if they get in the woods and that gets tangled up, well, the dog will sit there and die, or, you know, coyotes will come and, you know, kill it and eat it or whatever. So I'm thinking like, you know, walking across here, I'm thinking like, man, you know, maybe I should get a hold of the neighbor up the road and ask him, you know, if he hears the dog too, you know, maybe I should go up in the woods and take a look. But then I'm like walking over towards my woods, and then all of a sudden my hearing perception changes and I find out like, wait a minute, that's coming from my woods. And then it all clicked, like, where's my dog? And the problem with it is you think like, you know, your dog's bark. Well, the problem is my dog doesn't bark. She would never bark. The only time she barks, last time I heard her bark is we had a bear. There was a bear on her back porch and she was barking at it. But that was, you know, that was a little while ago. So I don't know what her bark sounds like because she doesn't bark. So anyhow, so I'm like, you know, I'm hollering for her and I don't see her, and she's quite obedient and she's not coming. And I hear this bark, bark, bark. And then I hear this awful noise, this squealing and growling. And, you know, obviously there's a big fight going on. And, you know, it wasn't really like, I don't know if you guys ever hear a dying rabbit, but they have a pretty high pitched squeal. But this was more of a shriek. It was like, you know, it was like that, but louder. And it just kept going and going. So like, I'm like, crap. So I like, you know, here's this pan of ashes down, hoof it back to the house and go inside. I wanted to shut the bottom of the coal stove. So I shut the bottom of the coal stove, and all I got is my little 38 special on me. So I grabbed 12 gauge right there, pop a couple rounds in it, grab a flashlight because it's pitch black out. Can't see anything. The woods is thicker and freaking snot right there. So I run up the trail and I go into the woods in the direction in which I heard the noise. I'm shining a light and all of a sudden it all got quiet. It's like dead quiet. I don't hear anything. And I'm hollering for Sheba and I don't hear a little dog chain thing coming. So then, you know, I get down, you know, a little bit under the underbrush and I start shining my flashlight so I can kind of see, and I see these two eyes, but they're sideways eyes. And I'm like, heart's racing. I'm like, oh crap. I was like, that Shiba, so I'm hollering for her, and all I can see is these red eyes. Well, a lot of times dogs have green reflective eyes, but huskies have red reflective eyes, like not all dogs do. So anyhow, I see these red reflective eyes. So I start, trying to get up through there, get through the prickers and stuff, and I see some hair, and it's white hair, and I see blood, and I'm like, oh my gosh, So I get tearing through there, and I get up there, it's freaking possum, this big fat possum, and he's all bloody, but he's playing possum. He's not 100% dead, but he's sucking wind pretty good. So then I'm like looking for Sheba, where there's this blow down tree there, and she's back behind it, and she's like, ears back, she's like still in attack mode. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I get her, and her whole face is covered with blood. And so I set my shotgun down and grab my light, and I start, just checking her over to see if she's all bit up, and didn't have a scratch on her, not even one like mark on her muzzle or nothing. These possums can get nasty if you corner them. I mean, if you see a possum, you can like pretty much just kick it and pick it up, and they just piss on themselves, play dead. But you start messing with it, it's going to bite you, and they got big teeth. So needless to say, I check her over, and she's fine. So all the blood on her must be from the possum. So I get her back out of the way. What do we want to say? Well, I'll put it to you. I shot the possum, of course, because he's pretty mangled up. Sheba did a number on him. So I put him out of his misery, took her back home, cleaned her up, gave her a bath, checked her face. Didn't see any poke holes, but it just freaked me out. You get going up there, and you see this white hair, you see these eyes, and you see blood and the dirt, and everything's all stirred up. Didn't you, Sheba? You ding dong. And the problem is, I don't even know what my own dang dog sounds like when it barks, because she never barks. That's what I like about her. She don't bark. So, yep, we dispatched him. That's right, Chad. That's the correct word. Now, is that cruel? No, you know what? He was going to suffer and die anyways, because Sheba had done quite a number on him. How in the heck she chewed up this possum this bad and didn't get bit is beyond me. It's all the years of training she's had. Yeah, I use the 1187 point blank. Took care of business, but I don't know. You're just kind of worried, all of a sudden you hear this squealing and growling and carrying on. There's a fox den there too, so I left it. The foxes will come and clean it up. I got the cutest little foxes around there. You guys can see them. I'll get some trail camera pictures and put them up on the Facebook. But we have these 2 fox dens down on the lower portion of our property. And you go down there and you sit for like 10 minutes, and you'll see these foxes come out. And right now they're about this big. They're little baby red foxes. And they're so cool because they come out and they almost come up to you, but I don't want them to do that because that's actually, not good for the animal. You don't want to domesticate it. As much as cute as they are, and you like to look at them, because I'll drive the Jeep down there and I'll park, and you only park for a couple minutes, and they can't stand it. They're super curious, and they'll come out and start walking up to you, and like you roll down the window and they scatter, but they don't know where they are, and they're pretty cool to watch. So it's pretty neat to watch the old little foxes and then see the big fox going around. Unfortunately, the big fox goes up to my neighbors who has chickens and torments them. So hopefully the big fox doesn't get smoked. The fox den that was there last year, the mother fox got hit in the road, but I did see some of the smaller pups. They actually did grow up, so not all of them died, but so yeah. What does the fox say? Well, Paul, we know what the fox says. I think we've covered that in another video. Oh, the bear on the back porch story. Oh, didn't I already tell you about the bear on the back porch? Me in my underwear with the BB gun. I didn't tell you about that. I must have told you about that. That's probably one of the dumber things I've done. Yeah, I ain't going to eat no possum. That thing stinks, especially when they're playing dead. They're so disgusting. Nasty little thing, like an overgrown rat. Let's see. Yeah, so I did tell you about the bear and the BB gun, right? Let's see. Oops. I can't. You don't want me to do your homework for you, Sophie. Trust me. Yeah, it was a Red Ryder BB gun, actually. So I must have told you guys a story about it then. The bear, we had it up the tree, and I was trying to menace him so he would go away. Yeah, you'll shoot your eye out. I was more worried about the damn bear coming down to eat me. Let's see what we got. Any thoughts on the 3.6 Pentastar? When I think 3.6 Pentastar, I think, yeah, the 3.6 is not that good of an engine, sir. Especially in a Chrysler, a lot of head problems on those, in my experience. So what happened? Yeah, I was in my underoos. So we had the bear that came. You know, we just had these neighbors that lived in the crack house, they called it, down the road, and they never took care of their garbage. So they always had a bunch of garbage outside. Well, of course, if you have garbage outside and you live in the country, you're gonna get a visit from the black bear, and then the black bear comes around and he thinks that's a feeding ground. I must have told you guys about this. I had to have. I feel like I have. So anyhow, so the bear was always down there and eating their garbage. So the bear came up to our house. Naturally, we're only a little ways up the road, and all of a sudden, like, you hear something on the back porch, and it's just a small back porch. You hear something out there. We have a garbage can out there. We put the garbage in, obviously, and you hear it like banging on the house. You're like, oh man, So go out there and look, like, oh, it's a freaking black bear, and they're really neat to watch, unless they're eating your freaking garbage, because they're fussy eaters. Because they'll sit there. This is a big male black bear, 300-ish pounds, in that area, big belly, you can tell he's a fat head, and they're very agile with their hands. They'll literally sit on the porch, feet hanging off, pop the lid off the garbage, take the garbage bag out of the can without even knocking it over, open it up. And at that point, we still had a child in diapers, because I remember seeing a diaper in there. So it's probably, probably 3 years ago, maybe, when Trinity was younger. Anyhow, he opens it up and he's pawing through it. So I'm like, all right, enough's enough. Let's get him out of here. Open the door, turn on the light, open the door. So he's like, 5 feet away, thinking like, this bear, he's going to book. Negative. He's like, thanks for turning on the porch light, fella. Goes right back to doing what he's doing. So then I bang the door, open the door and slam it a little bit, get out of here. You try to holler at him. Wouldn't even look at you. And he already has 2 blue ear tags in. So he's been caught twice. So he's probably a menace. And the problem is, if you call somebody and, they come up there, and if the bear's already been tagged, and then they trap them, and then ultimately they just kill it, which I'm a hunter. I'm pro hunter, pro gun. I don't think that it's the people's the fault why this bear is like he is, because they're allowing them to eat their garbage and stuff. So I didn't want the bear to get caught and just killed senselessly. So I thought, we'll do what a lot of people do. You menace them and make start to instill the fear of humans back into the bear, and hopefully they'll leave town, they'll move on, they'll go up in the wilderness and eat berries and forage. So I grabbed my 9mm, go out there pretty close to him, a couple feet away from his ears, blast a few rounds, pow, 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 just scare him, get him moving, get out of here. So I have this big cherry tree in the yard, of course, shooting the gun right next to his head, woke him up a little bit. He takes off, boom, he goes up in the cherry tree. I'm like, sweet. At this point, the dogs are going berserk. Fat Pearl, Cheever, Chloe, they're all going crazy. So the bear's up the tree. I get him up the tree. So I was like, well, let's menace him a little bit to, piss him off. So let the dogs out, they're barking at the tree, and, the bear's really upset, and he's growling and doing his thing. So I get the BB gun and I whack him a few times with the BB gun. So he's like, wait a minute, humans, dogs, this hurts. I want to get out of here. Of course, the BB gun, you ain't gonna kill a bear with a 1-pump BB gun. But the problem is, I'm outside in my underwear with a 1-pump BB gun and a bear twice my size up a tree. And the house is a little clip away to get back to the house if the bear decided to, let's say, come out of the tree. So I thought, like, you ain't real smart there, Mr. O. And the problem is Mrs. O was redecking the back porch at this point. Yes, you heard that right, Mrs. O. So the porch was, runs of, 2x8s or 2x10s, and it had no 5-quarter on top of it at the point. So if I ran back to the house, you got to military step all the stringers to get back into the house. So needless to say, Nothing bad happened. The bear was thoroughly upset and growling, and Mrs. O would not come outside because every time that bear growled, you'd swear it shook the ground. And it'd make the hair on the back of your head stand up, especially when you're in your undies and your little buckaroos with your 1 pump Red Ryder BB gun. And, to get all the dogs in. It was about a half hour or so. He came down out of that tree, and he came down, and he took off like nobody's business. Never seen him again. However, I did get him on trail camera this year, which is kind of neat. He's still in the area. I got lots of pictures of him in September. I know it's the same bear because it still has the same ear tag. So he hasn't been caught or killed, which is good. Unless he gets, harvested during normal season, and that's fine too, but nobody has taken him. But that's it. That's one of the bear stories. Yeah, no, there was no beer to be held. The bears always come through and visit our house once or twice a year about the same time. Memorial Day weekend is usually when they come through. Because I had another one. Mrs. O was gone. Nobody's home. Mrs. O was gone. Kids are gone. I was home by myself, and it was warmer out. I believe it was around, is it Memorial Day or Labor Day? I think Memorial Day. And so I was sitting there. I was in bed. It was like 11 o'clock, and I was watching something, on Netflix. Just turn the computer off, whatever. And had the window open, and I had my bathroom window open, which is near our back porch. And I'm just getting ready to go to sleep, and I hear something breathing, like outside my bedroom window, and it sounded like a human, So I'm like, I'm listening. And then I hear something a little bit. I'm like, man, it's somebody. We live out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, somebody outside my house. So I'm like, listen. I get up and I like tiptoe over to the bedroom or to the bathroom window, and I'm listening. I'm like, dude, there's somebody out there, because I can hear him breathing, and it sounds just like a man. So reach in my closet, I grab my 30-30, and I'm loading it up just as quiet as I can because the windows are open. So I'm like, squeaking some rounds in it. Get down and go out through the hallway and stuff. I get on the kitchen. Of course, I got all the lights off because I want I can see out, but I can't see in. I sneak over there. I'm like, flick on the back light, blast open the door. Stupid bear. So I was all ready. Take care of some business. But yeah, that's that. It was just a bear. But boy, it sure did sound like somebody breathing right outside my window. And I was right. Somebody was breathing. So that bear was a little more scared. A couple rounds of 30-30 at him beside them. I wouldn't intentionally just shoot one in the middle of summer. I'm not a savage, but I do get them moving. Yep, 30-30. One of my faves. It's a 1936 Marlin 30-30. Good shooting little gun. Yeah, they do breathe loud. They just make a mess, They get in your garden and they friggin' dig everything up. So, oh yeah, definitely don't. You don't go creeping around my house. If you do, hold your breath and don't come inside. Do I own a Desert Eagle? I don't. I only own guns that are useful, I would say. Hunting rifles, sporting rifles. I'm not into, like military guns, assault rifles, if you can say that word. I have nothing against them. I just don't have a use for them. I like guns that I can hunt with, or, carry guns, personal protection. Other than that, I don't. I think some are neat. Growing up, I used to have a bunch of SKSs and, mini 30s, mini 14s, stuff like that. But I just don't really have use for them. I sold them, so I just don't. Yeah, 454 Casull, right? Bears really do prefer Charmin. I don't think so. I do not have a 1911 Star guitar. That is on my list. And to be particular, is the Kimber Super Carry Pro would be the 1911 I would get. If I didn't get that, I would probably go the OG. I would get the Colt 1911 because it's a Colt and it's 1911. However, I do believe my next purchase of a 45 will be a Kimber. Like I said, I'd like to have the Super Carry Pro with the rounded edges and just take a fancy to that gun. And there's actually a local gun store that I have tried to get the price on that gun twice now. And the part that bothers me is I have asked that guy. I have bought multiple guns there. I go in, I buy the gun, pay for it, boom. I never hassle him. Never, better price this and that. This is the guy that's the price he's selling the gun for. I buy it to the point where I call him up and say, hey, I'd like to get this, whatever handgun I was getting or whatever. And he would just order it, and I'd go there and pay it. And, I've asked him for a price on the Super Carry Pro twice now, and he's yet to get me a price on it. And it bothers me. I know they're an expensive gun. I understand that, but he should know that when I buy a gun, I don't harass him. So he's never gotten back to me. I've tried twice. So moving on. The old 41 Red Hawk. Is it Red Hawk or Super Red Hawk? I would like to have a 44 mag. I think if I get a 45 in a semi-auto, it would be a 1911, hands down. And then I would like to have a 45 or 44 mag, probably in a Red Hawk or Black Hawk. I don't know which yet, but something for hunting. Like a 10-inch barrel. Big, dirty, hairy style. Let's see. I used to have some other lever guns. I had a Marlin in 357, which I love shooting that gun because you shoot 38 specials. And it was a fun little gun. Oh, is Ivan up in here? Let me see that, Ivan. Where is he at? Nope, no good diags lately, Ivan. Just a bunch of quick in and out, wham bam stuff, Yeah, Super Carry Pro is a sweet gun. I do not have a lever shotgun. My shotgun's are either a pump or a semi-auto. I'm a Remington guy, but I do have a Mossberg 835 and a Mossberg 500, so they're both pump guns. And then 1187, older 1187 is like from 1991's anniversary edition. I shot a 444 Marlin in what is it? Not the what is it? The Lone Eagle, I believe it is. Back when I worked at the gun store, the single shot, with the twisting breech, and then you load it. That was 444 Marlin. That was awful. Hated that thing. The gunsmith there, who I worked with, he put a muzzle brake on it, so I shot it before and after. Man, that thing was brutal in a handgun. 10 gauge. I don't have a 10 gauge, Andrew, but my Mossberg 835 shoots 3.5-inch Magnum, so it's going to be very equivalent to a 10 gauge in size. Yep. So yeah, the Super Carry Pro is about $1,500. Yep, $1,449. If you just give me a price on it, I saved up for it for quite a while, and then just what did I end up buying? After a while, I didn't get it. Oh, that's when I bought my 38 Special. Because I was like, well, I ain't gonna get back to me. Got my gun money just burning a hole in my pocket. So yeah, I can't wait to go pick up my Glock 43. Like I said, I got the receipt in the office. Got to go finish the paperwork stuff. 4570 Contender. That is a handful of a gun. I don't mind shooting 4570 in a, in a rifle, but boy, in a Contender, man. Yeah, 4570 is like a bazooka. So my my muzzleloader, my ML10, I shoot essentially a 4570 type load in that, with the smokeless powder and 300 grain 45 caliber bullets, saboted. So it's very, very equivalent. Let's see. Anyways, let's see how long we've been on. This feels like it's been forever. I think we're coming up on a couple-hour mark. So I better get going. Sheba's getting antsy. Yes, I worked at a gun store. Actually, Jeff, that's where I would be. Always said I wanted to be a farmer. I worked at a gun store, debated on going to the Colorado School of Trades, where they do gunsmithing, and you can either be a gunsmith or a horse farrier. You can learn to ferry horses. That means a horseshoer guy. So that's where I was going to go. However, the gun store that I worked at is a big privately owned sporting goods type store. So we did, gunsmithing. So I worked out back and worked on guns, and that was cool. Did a little bit of sales and stuff like that. And that's actually where I used to see Mrs. O come in, because her dad is a big connoisseur of the firearms. And she used to come in there with her pops when she was younger, and I'd always be eyeing her up. She remembers me creeping on her when she was there. Yeah, so I did. I worked at a gun store all the way through high school, and then actually after high school for a little bit, and then went to work for my dad. So, yeah, that or own a junkyard. Yeah, I could own a gun store and a junkyard. I'd be super happy. But I do need to get going. I do. Yeah, all that creeping did pay off. That's right. Never gave up. So I learned how to get to Mrs. O, what I used to do. Creeping on her. I used to go up and visit her mom and dad because, I knew her dad. So I just conveniently stopped by her house. Like, oh, hello, Vanessa's parents. And her mom loved me. So I figured once I got in good with her mom, boom, I'm in. Because then her mom's going to try to convince her that I'm a good guy. So it worked out. It all worked out in the end. My plan, my diabolical plan, it all came together. I'll tell you guys about that sometime. At any rate, I do have to get rocking and rolling and get home to Mrs. O. Get a lot of distractions going on here, so I get all jumbled up. I'm getting tired. Yeah, sly man. Well, I'll teach you all my tricks, Eddie, if you want to know. Always get friendly with your mom first, and then you're in. Or their sister, best friend. There's a lot of different routes you can go there to get in the end. And sometimes it doesn't work. In this case, it did. Happy ending. All right, guys. Well, thank you for sticking around. Thanks for supplying the notes and making What's Up Wednesday possible, and all the cookies. These lovely things here from across the pond, and all the goodness. Good talking with you folks. And look forward to, look for the videos coming out soon on mechanical type stuff. Try to get some diags in there if we can. If we get something to come in that's somewhat interesting, we'll do that for sure. So until next week's What's Up Wednesday, just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can.